What's good, YouTube? It's your boy FB Aftermath, back with another video, pumping out the content. You already know what it is. Now, you guys understand, you know that I'm an avid bencher. I'm very skilled in the world of what is the bench press, right? And I continually get messages about how can I gain more strength? You know, what am I not doing tomorrow? What's going on with my bench? You know, I've gotten up to 405 and I just seem to be, it's still heavy. It feels heavy, and like, let's have this conversation real quick. Bench press is a hard skill, all right? It's not easy. It takes a lot. Now, let me give y'all something. Let me give y'all a little ego boost. For those who are benching from 300, anything above 300 pounds is considered like heavy. I mean, let's break it down to something a little bit simpler. 200, anything around 200 pounds, let's just make it to form anything. You know, it may not be difficult to squat 200 pounds. It could be difficult to bench 200 pounds. It might not be difficult to bench 200 pounds, but picking up a 200-pound boulder and setting it on something can be very difficult. So honestly, anything past 200 pounds realistically is like just really heavy. Yeah, you can even go down to 150. Have you ever tried to pick up something 150 pounds, 150-pound TV and move that joint or something? The joint is heavy. Heavy is heavy regardless of how strong you are. That weight doesn't get any easier, you just get stronger, you know what I'm saying? Not easier, it doesn't get any like less, you know, it's still the same weight. So like 405 to me is still heavy, it still feels heavy, and I still have issues sometimes like pushing it up. And you know, I'm a 500 plus bencher, so you know. But let's get back into what this video is about. This video is completely about how to get your bench up and a few tips and tricks that I've learned over the years that really help and that can help you right now. These are probably things that you're not even doing. I'm guaranteeing you're probably not even doing, and you need to add into your bench press program like ASAP. So before we continue, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm popping out these videos for you guys. I'm doing as much as possible as I can. Also, Transparent Labs, use code Tehran for 10% off. We have this new awesome pre-workout called Bulk Black. This is for those hardcore lifters that want something stem heavy, and I definitely recommend it. Bulk Black, give it a try. And also, I'm going to show you guys real quick before we get started what my supplement stack is from Transparent for those who ask, you know, what I take specifically. So just bear with me, we're getting to it, but let's see what I got with Transparent. All right, so to start out, everybody wants to know pre-workout bulk. So the pre-workout that I mentioned before is a version of this, but up. It's a much stronger version of this, and it's, you know, it's our black label from Transparent. So we have our pre-workout right here, bulk. So in addition to the bulk, we have the stem booster, and what the stem booster is literally what it is. Like, if you want more caffeine, you can literally add more doses of caffeine. So this is right about how many caffeine? How much grams of caffeine? So this is 180 milligrams of caffeine, which it honestly, I kid you not, as somebody who is like an avid like freaking caffeine-aholic, it feels like it's more. The 180 feels stronger, you know, it feels like in the upper 200s, you know what I'm saying? So 180, but adding the extra scoop of this will make that 180 into a 280. So we have the nitric oxide, and we have the cardio support, two other products that I'm taking right now, and we get to our intra-workout stuff. So we got the carbs right here, and then we have the intro workout. I mix these two together, especially days where I'm like on the field or doing anything dealing with me running. I've had days where without taking it, that I'm just like, I just feel so depleted. And taking those carbs and plus that intra helps me stay hydrated and not depleted during my workouts, especially if I'm doing like high intensity stuff. And if you're a bodybuilder or you're a powerlifter doing those, you know, high volume workouts, 100% recommend taking that. As someone who does a lot, who's been doing sports, who does training, you know, twice a day, I have to take everything. I need to take everything to be on point with my recovery, to be on point with my strength, and to just not lose out on results, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I like Transparent Labs. If you go to their website, you can jot down everything that's in these supplements. There's nothing hidden. So if you guys have a question about anything that's in these supplements, you can literally look them up. It'll have it on the website. So that's why I like Transparent Labs, because the name of the brand really speaks volumes, and they really stick with being transparent. So that's enough of that. Let's get to the workout. All right, so let's talk about some warnings. So let me get this out the way. Overly binging sucks. Let me repeat that. Overly binging sucks. I've had so many issues and heard of so many issues for people that are, you know, I've heard people benching almost every day, you know, just because they're lacking in, you know, chest size or just strength, period. And I do not recommend this at all. Your shoulders will hate you for the rest of your life. Benching is a huge toll on the shoulders, all right? And for somebody who's been benching for, hell, 15 years now, it sucks. Like overly benching, getting tight in these areas, in those front delts, and having to like really, if you're not foam rolling, you know, like me in the past, if you don't like hit those areas, those pressure points and stuff with a lacrosse ball foam roller, it sucks. And I sleep like this. So trying to sleep like this or like this, all those comfortable positions you want to sleep in, over benching, it's a no-no. Now, let's talk about how much should you bench pretty much a week. And the max amount you should bench is 3 times a week, right? But I feel like to continually get stronger, you need to be benching at least twice a week. 1 is like a very slow progressional rate. 2 times is pretty average, pretty good for anybody to be able to keep up with. 3 times is for people who are seriously trying to increase their weight. So that answers the question of how many times should I bench a week to increase your weight. 3 times, right there. Yeah, I love to bench so much. It's crazy. Like, I really love to bench. Like, benching for me is like unnecessarily necessary, you know? Like, benching, me as an athlete, benching is probably the least important, exercise in my routine. And benching is purely for me type of thing. Like, it really is. And it's unnecessary at all. Like, is it good to have a strong bench press? Yeah. Is it necessary for sports? No. You know, I'd be more worried about your squat and deadlift and power and hang clean versus benching. Benching would be the last thing on my mind. Like, how much you bench? Like, who cares, you know? But for me, benching is just like, it makes me feel good, you know? And I'm known for benching for years. If you're an OG like Aftermath watcher, I've been a good bencher for years, so it's just kind of something that, you know, helps me mentally, and it's something for y'all to watch this up too. So, but one thing you guys got to understand is, I don't know how long you've been on the same bench program, but it might be time to change. You know, you've been on this program that got you to 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds. You've been on it for a pretty good long while, and it's time to change things up, or at least add in a few necessary elements to your program that will help you up that bench press. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a personal tip. Now, this is not something that that is fully necessary, but for me, I personally think it's necessary, and I think it's helpful. Now, we've seen a lot of people tear their pecs, you know, lately on bench press. You got social media. We're starting to see the disadvantages of bench pressing, and I feel like the reason a lot of this happens is one, you know, because just you're trying to weight that your just muscles are just depleted and you're pushing past your limits. But I feel like what doesn't make it any better is being so wide out. If you think about it, for me, I've never had any pec injuries, and I pray that I never have any pec injuries ever in my life. But I keep my bench press a bit closer, more inside medium, because I'm expanding myself. Does it shorten the range? Sure. Cool. Yeah, it shortens the range. But at the end of the day, I'm weaker out here. I'm like, this doesn't even feel safe to me, being able to bench it all the way out here. I'm weaker out here, and then the angle at which you want your elbows bent, trying to bench like that doesn't feel good to me. I don't feel powerful out here. And a lot of times when I've had clients who want to get their bench press up, they think that benching out here, you know, this is how you bench, this is the best way. No, I brought that grip in a little bit more. You know, I'd say max no wider than what? Slightly out of shoulder width. For me, most bars are the same, so I usually find that solid in that girdle, and that's kind of where my bench press is. Or the first ring, that's kind of like where my pinky is. Those first rings, bend that bar, which means kind of like curl it, like, you know, right here. Just bring those elbows in, curl it. You don't want to just boom, boom, and just press off. No, you want to be tight. Everything needs to be tight before you lift this bar. You need to take bench seriously, all right? This is not a joke when you're under a lot of weight, especially when you're by yourself, because if you don't come in here correctly and respect the weight, you come down and press. I've seen people slip. I've seen, my biggest fear is benching heavy, and that hole just like decapitates me. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna decapitate me, but that hole gonna choke the hell out of me, and I'd probably end up dead if I don't like slide down or something like that. But that joint can come right down, and you guys need to take this serious, be safe, have a tight grip. One thing that I've learned with lifting is the tighter my grip, the more in control and powerful I feel with the lift. You know, don't come in here lollygagging in that joint. No, like grab this joint. Like grab this joint, you know? Tight grip, bend those elbows, lift up. Sorry, I hit this thingy. That's, you know, I tried to make it perfect, but this is a perfect example. Everything's not perfect, all right? Gotta be ready for anything. All right, so let's get to the bottom of the reason for this video. The reason for this video is mainly surrounded around this one exercise tip that I have for everybody. And you can do this with a moderate amount of weight. We're not gonna say 1 rep max because you're going to have trouble. Unless you have a spotter, you're gonna have trouble doing these. But iso holds and negatives are gonna be your best friend when it comes to getting your bench press up. And this is anytime you have a stopping point. Anytime you have a stopping point, add these into the routine. So isometric holds, a great way for you to maintain strength, to get stronger, to help strengthen those ligaments, tendons, all those things necessary in order for you to develop in whatever exercise you're trying to do. Now the isometric hold is not something that you want to do all the time. I mean, I will say the best that I've seen is 5 reps with 5-second holds. All right, so that means you want to be able to get a weight where you can do for, you know, once again, 5 reps for 5-second holds for about 3 sets. So what that looks like is I have about, what, 315, 335 on the bar. Let's go through a set real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So I was able to get 3 reps done. I should go down in weight. I probably should be at around 300 versus 335. And that's how it's gonna look. I'm gonna come down about halfway, hold it there, and then press back up. Hold it there, press back up. 5 seconds. 5 reps for 5 seconds. All right, so the last thing I want to do, first off, man, it just feels, isometric holds just like you feel this sense of just like strength that's like, you know, that just regular benching and stuff doesn't do. You know, I can bench, I can rep out all the time, but I feel like after I'm done doing like isometric hold exercises, it feels like stronger. You know, I feel like you automatically start feeling stronger. But we're gonna move on. So we got the isometric holds, and then the second thing I want you to do are negatives. I want you to slow down the tempo of your exercises, right? Because we're so used to benching at a certain tempo all the time. I want you to slow it down. Both things are about 5 reps for 5 reps, 5 sets. I like the 5 rep, 5 set scheme. I hate going past 5 reps, and that's just a personal thing, but I feel like it's the best for benefit and to have enough energy to continue the whole workout, you know? Because your workouts are going to be formed around these, right? So your workout will be formed around those isometric holds. That would be the main thing, because it's going to take a toll. It's going to take a lot from you. And then this is going to be the second thing. Now, we have 225 on the bar, which is a pretty moderate weight for this. And what we're going to do, we're going to lower it down for about 3 seconds and then press for 5 reps. Easy. 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3. And understand, you look at the motion, you see everything, you realize, you know, the tempo of this bench versus the tempo of your normal benches. Like, this is my normal bench press. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about it, break down the movement, how much of that range of muscle, how much of that range of motion, those muscle fibers, those different positions are being worked in that normal rep. You slow it down, and now you're fully working the entire length. Now those muscles that really don't get the same work as other muscles when you're doing it normally are being worked, because you're slowing it down. Like here, boom. All right, this range of motion is getting worked a little bit more. This range of motion is getting worked a little bit more. This range of motion is getting worked a little bit more. So now you're increasing the strength capacity of that full range of motion, which is why negatives are very important in getting stronger. If you think about it also, I mean, physical therapists, right? If you've had an injury and you've been in physical therapy, what's something that they're gonna make you do that you don't wanna do? It's those isometric holds, it's those negatives. They tell you to slow it down, because when you slow it down, once again, you're working those muscles in this full length, this full capacity right here are being worked versus right here and then right here. Everything in between, when you slow it down, starts to get worked. And that's what a lot of people are missing. Those in-between muscles, those range of motion need to be worked. And that's why you're not getting as strong as you could get. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want online trading, make sure you hit me up at tehran2311@gmail.com. For fitness programs, hit up AKLAN, that's AKLAN.fitness. Link, everything will be in the description. And if you want any more tips and tricks on exercises or body parts, comment down below what you would like. Please support me, leave a like as well, and subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys later, and yeah, let's go.